Hello all, welcome to Data Cyber. Today we are going to see about K-means clustering. So before commencing the video, if you not gone through my lecture series on supervised learning, please go through it, and not subscribed yet, please subscribe to get upcoming valuable content. So if our data point having scatter plot like this, okay, can we get any meaningful step through it? No. So we can't utilize regression analysis over here. So how can we get any meaningful predictive analysis through it? We can cluster it with respect to neighboring point, okay, and segment it according to the clusters. This type of analysis is called as the K-means clustering. So let's see how exactly K-means clustering works. First, we have to determine in how many clusters we have to divide our scatter plot. Okay, suppose here we have to divide our scatter plot into three clusters. Okay, with respect to iterative analysis, we would find their centroids. Okay, for that we utilizes Euclidean distance. So what is the Euclidean distance? So suppose this point is having x coordinates x1 y1 and this point is having coordinate x2 y2. So distance between these points is defined as square root of x1 minus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square. This is called as the Euclidean distance. So in K-means clustering, we determine the centroid. All other cluster points are nearest to it. Okay. But main point is that in what exactly how many clusters we have to divide our scatter plot. For that we utilizes two methodologies. First is elbow method. So what is elbow method? So we first of all calculate distortion or inertia. So what is distortion? So distortion is the average of the Euclidean square distance from the centroid of the respective cluster. What does it mean? Suppose this is one cluster, we would find the Euclidean square distance of each point from the centroid and take its average. It is called as the distortion. Okay. And what is inertia? Inertia is the sum of square distance of samples to their closest cluster center. So basically inertia is the addition of all the distances from their respective centroids. Okay. If we summarize distortion and inertia, it denotes the error. Okay. So minimum the error, our model is good, but we have to avoid overfitting of the model. So for that we utilizes elbow method. Here this graph is looks like human arm and this point defines the elbow. Okay. We take the number of the clusters at the point at which the graph denotes the elbow. So here from this graph we come to determine that the number of clusters we have to take as 4. Okay. But in practical scenario we can't get the graph like this each time. Sometimes we get a smooth curve. So we can't use elbow method over there. So there is second method. It is called as the Silhouette method. So what is Silhouette method? Silhouette method determines how much data points is similar to its own cluster with respect to other neighboring cluster. So what exactly Silhouette method? In Silhouette method we take average distance of each point of that particular cluster from its centroid. Okay, this is how we calculate the average distance of this particular cluster. Okay, from its centroid. Then we calculate average distance of each point of the nearest cluster to the centroid which we determined earlier. Okay, this is called as the B. Okay, then we calculate Silhouette score as B minus A upon maximum distance either from A or from B. So Silhouette score ranges from -1 to +1. High Silhouette scores indicates that object is well matched to its own cluster than neighboring cluster. So high value of Silhouette score is appropriate for our modeling. So here we plotted Silhouette score versus number of clusters. Okay. So we come to notice that for 3 number of clusters we get maximum Silhouette score. So for analysis of this particular data set we utilizes 3 clusterings. Now we see it with the help of Python language. So first of all we plot our scatter plot with our data set. So for that first import our necessary libraries as import pandas as ed. For data handling import numpy as np. For array handling and import matplotlib.pyplot as plt for data visualization. Okay, then we would import our data set. For that, suppose we define data set as df is equal to pd dot read underscore csv. Then we paste our file location, then execute it. Then we see our data set. So here we having a customer data set according to their age and income, and we have to cluster out it. Okay, so first of all we have to check if there are any empty cells or words in this data set. So for that, print df dot is na dot sum. So here we come to notice that in each column there is no cell which is empty, while in income column also there is no cell which is empty. So here we can execute it for our scatter plot. Next we would visualize our scatter plot. For that, plt dot scatter, what is our x coordinate? Df dot age, and what is our y coordinate? Df dot income. And we would define the color for the scatter points as blue. Next we would label our scatter plot. For that, plt dot for x-axis x label, and what we have to label age. Similarly for y-axis, plt dot y label income. Okay, and we would plot as plt dot show. So this is our scatter plot of the age versus income. Here we have to determine our clusters. Okay, so for that, first of all we have to define in how many clusters we have to divide these data points. Okay, so first of all we would utilize elbow method as we discussed earlier. So for elbow method, we have to first determine distortion or inertia. For that, first of all we would import necessary libraries to calculate distortion and inertia. For that, first we import k-means clustering from sklearn.cluster import k-means. Next we would import matrices from sklearn. So from sklearn import matrices. Next we have to calculate the Euclidean distance. For that, from scipy dot spatial dot distance import cdistance. So in cdist library of scipy, there are the various methodologies to calculate the distance between the points. So from that cdistance we have to utilize our Euclidean distance methodology. Okay. Next we have to arrange our data frame in matrices format. For that, we suppose defined our new data frame as edf is equal to df. First parameter is what? Age. Second parameter is what? Income. Then we need whole data. So ilog for whole data. This determine we would utilize all the rows. Okay, and this sign determines we would utilize all the columns. Dot values. So if we print our data frame, we will get the data set in matrices format. Okay. Next we have to calculate distortion and inertia for various number of clusters. If we consider two number of clusters, then what is the distortion? If we consider three number of clusters, what is the distortion? So for that we would utilize loop. So first of all we would create one empty list for distortion. So distortion is equal to empty list. Similarly we create empty list for inertia. Inertia is equal to empty list. Okay. Then we define how many number of clusters we have to check. So suppose we have to check total 10 clusters. For that K maximum is equal to 11. Next we would check the distortion and inertia for each number of clusters. So for that we would use here for loop. So for K in range of what, where from where we have to start, two number of cluster up till what, K max plus 1. Next we would check our predictive analysis for each cluster. For that we develop a K-means model. So K-means is equal to K-means, how many clusters we have to consider here. So we defined it with n underscore clusters is equal to K. So here it iteratively takes the value of K and determines the predictive analysis for each number of cluster. Okay. Then we would create our model with fit. What is the data frame we have to consider? EDF. So EDF. Okay. So next we have to determine distortion. So we define distortion as the average Euclidean distance from the centroid. So for calculating the distortion dot append, it append our list. Okay. Next we have to sum all the Euclidean distance and divide it with the number of points. That's how we calculate distortion. So sum np dot minimum, we have to consider the minimum distance. Okay. Then C distance library dataset we have to utilize EDF. So EDF. So and for centroid we utilize K-means model dot cluster center. Okay. How we calculate the distance with Euclidean method. So Euclidean. Next we have to append it along the column. So axis is equal to what? 1. Okay. This is how we sum up all the distances. Now we have to divide it with number of points. For that divide EDF dot shape. Next we would find our inertia. So for that inertia dot append, we would append our list with what? K-means dot inertia. So when we execute it, our distortion and inertia data set has been appended. Okay. Next we have to visualize our data. Okay. For that plt dot plot, what we have to plot? First we have to consider 1 to 10 points on x-axis, for which it defines the value of k. So np dot range, how many points we require? 1 to 10. So 1, 11. Okay. On y-axis we require distortion. So distortion, and we define it with the dot. So next we will plot our graph. So plt dot show. When we execute it, we will get the graph like this. But here we don't get any elbow point. Okay. So let's check for inertia. So copy paste it over here, replace distortion with what? Inertia. When we execute it, we would get a graph. Here also we doesn't get any appropriate elbow point for the graph. So we can't determine our K value with the help of elbow methodology. So next we would try to determine the value of K with the help of Siluety method. So first of all we have to find Siluety score. So similar to inertia and distortion, we would find Siluety score for each value of K. So for that, first of all, copy our previous code of inertia and distortion. Copy it, paste it to calculate Siluety score. Next, we required what? Siluety score. So suppose SIL, then delete this inertia factor. Then we have to here utilize for loop itself. Then we would fit our model. Next we would delete this all the factors. We have to calculate what Siluety score. So sil dot append, it would append this list. Okay. Then for Siluety score there is a library dot Siluety underscore score. Then with data frame we have to utilize PDF. Okay. Next we have to utilize the label for each data point. For example, if we divide these clusters into three categories, that's cluster number 1, 2, 3. So the points in the first cluster labeled as 1, points in the second cluster labeled as 2, and point in the third cluster labeled as 3. So that's how the labels define. So for that, K means dot labels underscore. Then with distance methodology we have to utilize Euclidean. So just put Euclidean. Okay. Euclidean. Oh, we are getting an error. What is that error? We had not defined the Siluety score. So we have to import the library of Siluety score from scalar matrices. Okay. So from scalar dot matrices import Siluety score. Okay. So when we execute it, we would get the list which is appended. Okay. So we have to visualize our Siluety score. For that, plt dot plot, what we have to plot on x-axis, number of k's. So for that, np dot arrange from 1 to 11. Okay. Then next we required Siluety score. Okay. So SIL, we would define it with dot. So for that, dash o. Then we have to plot it. So plt dot show. So when we execute it, we would get Siluety score versus K means. Okay. So we come to notice that for 3 number of clusters we get the highest Siluety score. So for our given data set we would utilize total 3 clusters. Okay. Next we have to separately plot our 3 clusters. Okay. For that, first of all we have to develop a model for 3 number of clusters. So copy it, paste it over here. Then we have to calculate 3 number of clusters. So replace K by 3. Next we would plot our scatter plot. So plt dot scatter. What is the x coordinate? H. What is the y coordinate? Income. which data set we have to use, df data frame. Okay. Next we have to specify different color for different clusters. So for that we would utilize labels. So C is equal to k means dot labels underscore. So when we plot it, we would get plot dot show. So when we execute it, we would get three different cluster. Okay. Next we have to find the centroid of this cluster. So we defined here the centroid. So centroid is equal to k means dot cluster underscore centers. Next we would plot our centroid. So for that plt dot plot, what is the x coordinate centroid? 0. Okay. And what is the y coordinate? Centroid 1. Next we denote it with dot and specify color as red. So C is equal to red. So when we execute it, we get three different centroid. Okay, denoted with red. So finally we attempted our three clusters for our customer segmentation. So that's it for today. If you want CSV file and notebook, please go through the link in description box. Thank you.